7 forgotten plants better than carrots that produce repeated harvests, even in winter. Ready to transform your garden into a year-round food source with less work and more delicious harvests? Instead of planting carrots over and over again, there's a whole world of forgotten perennial plants that you plant once and harvest repeatedly, even through the cooler months. These hardy vegetables come back each season, giving you leaves, stems, roots, or tubers year after year without resowing seeds every spring, saving you time and effort while boosting your kitchen table with fresh produce. In this video, we explore 7 of the best perennial crops that outperform carrots by offering long-lasting harvests and reliable yields straight from your garden. One, Skirit, a forgotten root crop that keeps coming back. Skirit is one of those forgotten vegetables that deserves a comeback in every home garden because it plants once and returns, year after year, with sweet, carrot-like roots. Unlike carrots that need fresh seeds and careful thinning every season, Skirit has a perennial nature. Its clumps grow back from the same roots, season after season, saving you time and effort. These roots are bright, white, and sweet, and they can be harvested in autumn once they've had a full growing season to fill out. Gardeners in cooler climates especially love Skirit because it tolerates cold and keeps producing when carrots have long finished for the year. This plant was once widely grown in Europe, but fell out of popularity in modern agriculture, which makes it almost forgotten today. Its flavor is often described as sweeter and richer than carrots, and the roots are versatile in cooking. You can roast, boil, or mash them, much like other root vegetables, giving you familiar comfort with something new. Because it's a perennial, you don't have to sow new seeds every year, and once the root clusters are established, they keep coming back with minimal work. That means more harvests with less seasonal planting and more space for other crops in your garden. Perennials, like Skirit, are part of a larger group of perennial vegetables that gardeners plant once but harvest repeatedly over many years. These include classics like asparagus and rhubarb, but Skirit stands out because it produces edible roots rather than just shoots or leaves. Choosing these forgotten perennial plants gives you fresh food, reduces your gardening workload, and extends your harvest season well beyond what annual root crops alone can offer. Two, asparagus, the classic perennial powerhouse. Asparagus may look humble in the garden, but it's one of the most rewarding plants you can grow because it produces harvests year after year. Once you plant healthy crowns in well-prepared soil, the roots grow deeper each season and send up tender spears every spring without replanting. After the first couple of years, when the plant focuses on establishing strong roots, you'll be harvesting spears annually for decades in some gardens. Good asparagus beds produce for 20 years or more. This perennial habit makes asparagus a time-saving star compared to fast-maturing annual roots like carrots. Unlike carrots that need fresh sowings and careful thinning to maximize your crop, asparagus gets stronger over time and fills in its space to create more stalks each spring. You don't pull the plant out after harvest. Instead, the roots stay in the ground working for you year after year. Of course, like any perennial, it benefits from good soil, sunlight, and occasional compost or mulch to stay vigorous. That long-term productivity makes asparagus one of the most efficient vegetables in any garden. Focused on repeated harvests, for gardeners ready to think long-term, asparagus is a cornerstone plant. The more you invest at the start, the greater your returns over the years. It pairs beautifully with other long-lived crops and even helps enrich the soil around it with deep, fibrous roots. While carrots might satisfy your cravings for crunchy orange roots for a single season, asparagus keeps rewarding you in spring after spring without the need to reseed. Choosing perennial vegetables like asparagus means fewer chores and more fresh food when winter turns to spring. 3. Rhubarb tart stalks that return every season. Rhubarb is another forgotten perennial that deserves a place in your garden if you want repeat harvests without annual planting. Although many people think of rhubarb as a dessert plant, it's technically a vegetable with thick stalks. You can harvest once the plant is established. Just like asparagus, rhubarb puts down strong roots that survive cold winters and push up fresh stalks every spring, year after year. Once planted, rhubarb can continue producing for a decade or more with minimal care from you. What makes rhubarb exciting for gardeners is not just its longevity, but the size and reliability of its harvests. In cooler winters, rhubarb often emerges early in the year while other plants are still dormant, giving you fresh tart stalks when fresh greens are hard to find. You can cook rhubarb into jams, compotes, and sauces, or mix it with sweeter fruits like strawberries for balanced flavor. Unlike carrots, which you pull once and then need to replant seed after seed, rhubarb keeps growing without replanting, saving you time and effort. Of course, patience is part of the rhubarb story. Most plants take a couple of seasons to really hit their stride and produce plentiful stalks. But once they do, they become a garden staple that reliably comes back, even through cold winters, making them much more efficient than annual roots that disappear with frost. With a good planting site, regular mulching, and occasional feeding, rhubarb becomes one of the most dependable and rewarding vegetable plants you can grow. Four, Jerusalem artichokes, nutty tubers that keep growing back. Jerusalem artichokes, also called sunchokes, are tall sunflower family plants that produce clusters of sweet, nutty tubers underground that you can harvest year after year. Unlike carrots that you sow and pull out once, these tubers stay in the ground and can be dug up in autumn and even early winter in milder climates, giving you harvests long after carrots are done. Once established, Jerusalem artichokes are very hardy and can thrive in poor soil with little care, meaning you spend less time replanting and more time harvesting. People often forget them in modern gardens, but they are exactly the sort of forgotten plant that rewards patience with abundant, repeated harvests, season after season. These plants grow tall stalks with bright flowers that not only feed your family, but also pollinators like bees and butterflies, adding ecological value to your garden while producing food. The tubers can be cooked like potatoes, boiled, roasted, or added to soups. And they offer a unique flavor that's both nutty and satisfying, especially in winter dishes. Jerusalem artichokes are surprisingly versatile. The young shoots can even be eaten like asparagus in early spring, giving you more than one type of harvest per plant. For gardeners looking to cut down on annual work and maximize output from each plant, these perennial tubers are a brilliant addition because they spread easily and grow vigorously. Jerusalem artichokes can fill a space quickly and produce a large crop with minimal input. This vigorous growth means you might want to manage their spread thoughtfully. For example, planting them in a dedicated bed or using root barriers so they dainty overshadow other vegetables you're regrowing. But once you get the hang of it, these plants reward you with year after year of sweet, edible tubers that keep coming back without replanting. Five, sorrel tangy greens that grow through the seasons. Sorrel is a leafy green that many gardeners overlook, yet it's a perennial powerhouse that comes back year after year and tolerates colder weather better than many annual greens. Its leaves have a bright, lemony flavor that adds freshness to salads, soups, and sauces. And because the plant lives for multiple seasons, you get repeated harvests without replanting each year. Once you plant sorrel in well-drained soil with a bit of sun, it'll come back in early spring before many other greens have even begun growing, giving you fresh harvests when food is still scarce. Its resilience and long life make it a true forgotten treasure in the garden. Unlike carrots that need to be sown every year and harvested once, sorrel's leaves regrow continuously after clipping, meaning you can pick a handful of tender greens several times a season because it keeps producing new foliage as long as you harvest responsibly. It's perfect for home gardeners who want fresh greens from early spring through fall without the hassle of succession planting. Sorrel is also quite cold tolerant. In many climates, it survives frosts and even light snow, giving you a leafy harvest when other plants are dormant. If you savor tangy greens with minimal work, sorrel deserves a spot in your garden plan. To keep sorrel productive, simply snip the outer leaves regularly and avoid cutting all foliage at once so plants can keep regrowing. Divide your sorrel clumps every few years to maintain vigor and prevent overcrowding, and you'll enjoy years of harvests from one planting. Over time, this perennial herb can become one of the most reliable and low-maintenance greens in your garden, especially valuable in cooler seasons. Compared to carrots, which offer only one annual crop, sorrel keeps giving you fresh, flavorful greens with far less effort. Six, Good King Henry the spinach-like, green that lasts years. Good King Henry is a heritage leafy perennial vegetable that many growers once treasured, but today is rarely seen in modern gardens, earning it the title of a forgotten plant worth rediscovering. This plant produces tender, spinach-like shoots and leaves you can harvest repeatedly throughout the growing season, and because it's perennial, it comes back every spring without replanting. Once established, its deep root system helps it survive cold winters and sprout again in spring, giving you reliable harvests year after year. For gardeners who want healthy greens without yearly sowing, Good King Henry is a wonderful addition. The taste of Good King Henry is mild and versatile, making it delicious in salads, sautés, soups, or as a steamed side dish, much like other leafy greens gardeners are familiar with. It's also robust. You can harvest leaves gently over months and still let the plant stay strong, unlike annual greens that weaken if you pick too much at once. Plus, its stems in early spring can be cooked like asparagus, giving you two different kinds of harvest from the same plant. This double-duty nature makes Good King Henry especially valuable for gardeners seeking extended, repeated yields. Once planted in a good location with partial to full sun and moist, fertile soil, Good King Henry takes a little time to establish, but then rewards you for years with minimal maintenance. Cutting back flower stalks when they appear can help keep the plant focused on leaf production, prolonging your harvest season. With the right care, this lesser-known green can become one of the most reliable perennial vegetables in your garden. Compared with carrots, which you sow and pull annually, Good King Henry gives you fresh harvests from one planting for many seasons. 7. Dandelions and other perennial edible greens you didn't know were food. Dandelions are often dismissed as weeds, but these hardy plants are actually edible perennials that come back every year with nutritious greens, flowers, and roots you can harvest repeatedly. The young leaves are tender and rich in vitamins, especially A and K, and can be added to salads, smoothies, or sautés, giving you fresh spring harvests long before many crops awake. Because dandelions grow from deep taproots that survive winter underground, they keep popping up in early spring, offering food when other greens are scarce. Rather than pulling them out, you can eat them and appreciate them as a delicious, forgotten perennial food source. Just like sorrel or Good King Henry, dandelions Dante need to be sown every year. Their perennial habit means one plant gives you leaves for years. Many gardeners harvest the leaves while leaving the root intact, so the plant keeps regrowing for future harvests. The flowers and even roots are edible as well. Flowers can be used in fritters or teas, and roots can be roasted or boiled for food or herbal uses. This multi-part harvest makes dandelions a truly remarkable plant for year-round edible gardening. Other lesser-known perennials like sea kale, lovage, and watercress also fit this theme. Coming back season after season with edible parts, you can enjoy fresh or cooked, broadening your garden well beyond carrots and annual greens. Including these forgotten perennial edibles in your garden gives you multiple harvest opportunities. Without replanting every year, making your edible space more productive and resilient. They're perfect for gardeners who want a harvest that lasts through seasons, even as the weather cools.